One moment, Donna. There we go. I think you can hear me now, right? I'm using this one. It works. It should start working in a moment. I don't know why. It just decided not to. Quite the mystery. Quite the mystery. But oh well. We'll make it work one way or the other. Now deciding not to work. I don't know, Donna. I don't know. It's strange. All right. How are you, Donna? How are you? How are you? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yes, I'm well also. Feeling just a little bit like pre-flu, which doesn't make me happy, of course, in the current climate, but that's determined not to get it and, rest and chill and relax. But, so I was this week, whenever I do, let's see, what's going on here? Whenever I do, I've learned to recognize over the years ahead of time pre-flu symptoms. Like I get unreasonably sleepy and then I just sleep all day. And so I had that earlier in the week, and my energy came back yesterday. And then today I kind of had a snotty nose just in one side. Just like a whole glob of it. It's really weird. Yeah, blew it out. It was all gone. Nose been clear since then. But I still feel like my strength is, sapped. So, and I've recognized that as, being part of the symptoms. So it's cool, just working on it and to not get it, so it's interesting.
What do you do to not get it?
Just rest, relax, intend, don't stress yourself, don't push it. Sleep way more than you think. That's it. You end up pretty much like sleeping all night and all day. And it's like, but I shouldn't be tired. I slept 10 hours and now I'm sleeping another 6. Yeah, that's just how it is, So that's how it is. Just your body needs that extra because to counterbalance it, you because that's what happens when you when you end up in bed sick. You end up sleeping all the time, right? So if you do it ahead of time, you give the body the chance to do it while it's fighting to not get infected instead of fighting the infection itself. So you just get ahead of it because typically we ignore that the early stages, you see, and then we get sick and then you're forced to do it. But if you pay attention ahead of time and do what you're going to do when you get sick, but just do it earlier, well, then you're okay. It's pretty simple, but very effective, right? What have you been up to, Donna? What have you been up to? What have you been thinking about?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Not really.
Oh, wow. 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 Let me put this on. So I want to make some cocoa. Oh, it's most industrious today. After
Me too.
after
Stayed home
say again.
from work.
You just
I
got
had the
home from
same
work?
thing you have going on. No, I stayed home from work today.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, you should have come on Zoom then this morning when Erica was on. Oh, well.
No, I didn't feel well.
Oh,
I
yeah.
slept most of the day.
Oh, good. Yeah,
I
see,
can
that's the
relate
point.
to. I know.
Right. Yeah. And now
That's
tonight you sleep a full night again. It makes no sense. And we have to override our logic. It says, yeah, but why am I tired, But we do it ahead of time. Very powerful. Very, 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 very powerful. Very powerful. Very
well,
powerful.
getting up with a pup is
Yeah.
taking its toll for sure.
Oh, that also. Yes, that also. And also. Any chance of seeing Riley? Saying hello?
He's sleeping.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I can see him.
Send you a picture.
And he's good? You're good with him?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh. He's still mellow and chill?
Yeah, he's pretty mellow and chill. He
Wow.
has a certain time frame like babies do.
Yeah.
Where they're like kind of wild and fussy. He has that too.
Wow.
Doesn't last too long though. It's about 20 minutes in the evening.
Wow. That's something.
I came into work after everybody left so I could do a module and catch up a little bit on work, and I'm not going to be here too much longer, but I thought I'd check in with you.
Oh, it's fabulous. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Really. It's, I'm a little down just because my energy's drained. So
Yeah, me
you give
too.
me great joy to come on. So I'm really thrilled you're here. All right,
I'm
so
not so sure I'll charge your energy because I feel the same way. A little low.
but you do. You boost me like
Uh,
crazy. You boost me like crazy. I'm busy making some hot chocolate here. So that we can do this. So this is exciting, Donna. It's exciting. It's exciting. Um, I just just makes me so happy that you're here. All right. So where you at, Donna? You done module 1, session 3. Is that the last one you did?
yes.
All right. So you want to share with me on that? I'm
I
really
think I
keen to
did,
hear.
didn't I?
Yeah, but yeah, you shared in an email, but I mean just verbally share because it's always
Oh,
more
I
when we share
gotcha.
verbally, right? Unless you did more, I don't know.
Oh, I just gotta remember.
Okay,
Let me pull it up and
yeah,
kind of get
yeah,
my
yeah,
head there.
yeah, yeah. I am part of the magic is the articulation, particularly to say it out loud, to get that practice of for ourselves. So writing you can go back and edit and re-edit, but speaking is live, so it's a different skill. Yeah.
Yes.
And when we can articulate our big points in life, the stuff that really matters to us, in other words, our takeaways, and of course the repeat backs in a way too. But when we can express this, and the more we do so, the more we connect to our insights. Yes.
Mm,
So it's very
cool.
important. It's very, very, very important what's going on. All right, I'm listening, Donna. I'm listening. Yeah, yeah. Just making cocoa while we talk.
I was keen to hear what's going on with you. You said there's a lot of
Ah,
good stuff.
oh well, the main thing was just Sue signing up. That's a big shift, and it's just also, oh sorry, if you don't want to do the takeaways and stuff now, that's fine. I know we can just chill and catch up. I love it. That's fantastic. I mean, I'm really thrilled. Really, really, really thrilled. It's huge. So the stuff going on is mostly with Sue signing up, but it's not just that she signed up. It's a consequence to an intent. And in the same way as Riley is a consequence of our application, same thing with Sue, right? It's the same type of a logic. It is a result, not just a singular happening. It's a consequence of an extended um, interactivity, and also it is a proof of self. Yes, Riley
Yeah.
is proof of self. This is what makes Riley so magical, right? This is why Riley Day is also graduation day, one and the same thing, because it is a confirmation, a visual, actual confirmation of your application and your impeccability and just all of your power and magic and awesomeness and your divine self. Now, in the same way, so it is with Sue. So for me, the program itself hasn't changed, beside editing changes, but the program itself is the same. However, what has changed since a year ago, when we started and when Venus started, and now is that, at that point in time, my confidence in the program was based on essentially, to me, yes, I know the self-evident sensibilities, and I know the value for myself, but my confidence in it for someone else is based on belief. It can only be. How can I know for sure it's going to be valuable for you or anybody else? I can believe all I like and know for a fact it's valuable to me, but sorry, I can't know for sure it's going to be valuable for you until I actually see it being valuable for you, right?
Right.
Now, in the same way, I can't, even though it might be valuable to you and Bina and everybody else, I can't say it's going to be valuable so for everyone, right? Or others in general. But I can have a much higher degree of confidence and a greater degree of certainty And I can say with a really high, I should say, degree of probability and certainty that based on what I've seen, it is highly reasonable. If you do the program as intended, you will get the results. And this is not just through observing you guys do it, and now also with Erica. Erica is the way she's done it, and now you doing it properly too. This is a real validation for me of the power of the underlying logical sensibility, not of anything that I did, but of the things themselves. And this is huge because as much as there's no belief required for anybody else, so now with this validation for me, the underlying logic itself is the validation. It doesn't require proof of experience. It doesn't matter if I've seen it work and I know why it's working, and the why is what was intended. So now I can say that if I'm recommending this, I'm not making a promise to anybody. I can almost guarantee, say, look, if you do it, you're going to get the results, because this is the way the brain works. This is how we work. And through the sensibility of understanding just, basic brain psychology and motivation and interest and all of this, it cannot not work, right?
Right.
Because it's not about learning a new set of beliefs, as you said in one of your profound takeaways. It is about you discovering your stuff, connecting to your moreness. And that's the whole intent of the program. Everyone has a moreness. Everyone has a moreness. So that's why this whole thing is so profound. It's really, really something, So there's no great magic other than me understanding and clicking onto something, okay, just through, I don't know, I guess my efforts and struggles and persistence. And also I could say, just my luck, as it were. Doesn't matter how I got there, but understanding a very fundamental and core and profound aspect of how things work and how people work, this makes the program work, right? Because it's leveraging what is inherently effective for change and for connecting us to a moreness. So, what you do with that once you are connected, that's of course up to you, but still, your moreness and you connecting to your moreness, that's not something that's out of reach for anyone. I truly don't feel that way. I really do not. Yeah. Donna?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So this is the excitement of what's going on. It's that now, okay, testing phase is over. I don't have to promise anymore. I can now say yes. Okay. I feel confidence that it is substantiated and verified. Erica doesn't even need to finish the course. She's done enough already to have lasting life change. And it's a life change program. So how much you get, don't matter. Sometimes it's just one thing you need to change your whole life, and that's enough. And you can keep extrapolating from that and expanding, and that's it. Okay, you can get a whole bunch and then have a lot to work on. All right, but either way, it doesn't matter. So
Cool.
There's overkill in the program, in other words, as far as I'm concerned. All right, so never mind me. I want to hear about you and about, you were saying about your daughter and your grandson, all of these things. That issue with your grandson and his grandmother, right? And the abuse taking place. I feel that, to me, the way I see the program and just everything in you and interconnectivity and the making sense of it all, I see this entire situation as one in which you are now being tasked to deal with it with and from the perspective and with the totality of your divine self, to now actually apply your divine self, which means being very particular about detail, exquisite detail. When I've seen this a couple of times when I've interacted with people who are really pro at what they do, right? And okay, I know a little bit of it, or like you may even be good at it, and then you see a pro, and it's like, whoa, I thought I was good, but now you see how the pro does it. Man, they really take that extra step. They go to an extra detail, a level of detail. They have an extra finesse level that, like, whoa, I don't go that far. It's like you think, I don't need it, but they do. They go way beyond where we think is even reasonable. And when it comes to our divine selves and impeccability in matters of this nature that are so very complex and very sensitive, we need to be exquisitely impeccable and leave no stone unturned in terms of assumption and guesswork and probability and none of that stuff. We have to be finesse and sophisticated. And then it comes to capital D, diplomacy, application, and all of the other stuff, strategy, everything. So in dealing with this, you are being tasked to deal with it in the fullness of yourself. And also it is a way, as Bina likes to say, to grow up in your past. Why? Because in dealing with this, you are now dealing it with the fullness of yourself that wasn't available to you back then. It simply wasn't. And the knowledge, when you deal with this from your divine self and going to that extra effort and seeing what all is required and the amount of care and detail and fiddliness and all of what you're going to do, this is a big job just to deal with this one issue. It just was not possible back then. Knowing this indisputably, that it was not possible back then, was not possible at all. Knowing this indisputably will rid you of any possible residual guilt. You are saying no matter how much you may have wanted to do it differently, no matter how bad you were, no matter how possibly good you could have been, it wasn't possible for you or the you of then to do it. You simply didn't have the tools. It wasn't in the cards. So it doesn't matter what you did do, because no matter what you did, you wouldn't have been, it would have been a screw up. Makes no difference, right? So you survived. That's the key. So this will prove to yourself conclusively that, hey, there's no need for any residual guilt, no matter how small, from the past. Yes, you take responsibility for your part, but that doesn't mean you still don't feel some measure of tiny guilt. But when you deal with this situation in the fullness of what's required, you're going to say, oh my God, there was just absolutely no way in hell, even remotely close, that I would have been able to. Even now, it's going to be a push to get there. You're going to have to put yourself to the absolute maximum of your energies, your efforts, your impeccability, your scrupulousness, your thoroughness, your level of finesse and detail and everything. You're going to have to utilize your fullness of your divine being to deal with it. It is that much of a complicated and tricky situation. But it would be really profound for many levels. It makes sense not only for application of your divine self to put you into a whole different sphere of being. That is a profound shifting of the habits of being, not just doing things kind of sort of more or less and even thoroughly. No, beyond thorough. That's professionalism is true professionalism. When you get to that maximum level, it's like on a whole different level to the way we do things just well. Yeah.
Right.
So dealing with these situations, because this is what you asked in those emails that you sent me. I'm addressing those now, right? This is what you asked. How does it make sense?
Those were just examples of a few things that have been coming at me. But this stuff has been coming, cycling around for years.
Exactly. And just in the same way as Riley came and you weren't quite ready, these stuff came, but you weren't quite ready. But now you are. Same logic. The universe keeps feeding it to you and saying, hey, it feeds it to you to make you first aware that you aren't ready so that you can get ready. Now you are. And this application will be, yes, we have way of impeccability and yes, graduation, but there's always more. And taking it to that max level, there's a long way to go. As far as I'm concerned, I know I got like, man, so I get overwhelmed by how much there is to go. But hey, that's what it is, and we start to enjoy the process. And then when we get tasked like this, we have to step up and get into it, And the more we do it, of course, the more we get comfortable doing it. The most key essential point I want to make here too, Donna, It's not just about an opportunity to apply yourself on the next level, on a really super maximum level. It is also the opportunity to remedy things retroactively. This is huge, Donna. In you, there's, to me, I feel, and it's again my perspective, it's my opinion, but I do feel that you have a large measure of you that, yes, you are at peace with the past, but there is a portion of you, however small, that would like to fix and remedy the past. So in these opportunities of dealing with them now, because with the grandson, excuse me, with some of the other people, like with the receptionist, that's a choice to get involved, and you'd have to make effort to get involved. But with the grandson, you don't really have a choice, right?
Right.
So now you are being tasked, as it were, to get involved. You are, and by getting involved here, you will be, to me, fixing stuff from the past, because you see the similarities and you just see it repeating. So by doing this, you fix the past and you break the cycle. So it's not just about taking, coming to peace with your past and seeing and getting rid of any guilt, to realize conclusively, have it proven to yourself that, hey, there was nothing I could have done back then, right? And know this as a fact, not just as a helpful belief, as a stratagem. No, but as a fact. You're forced to believe that whether you want to or not. You're forced to know it whether you want to or not, in dealing with this thing to the way that's going to be required. But also, it is a mechanism where you can, dang it, break the cycle. That's the other thing I wanted to say. That's very important. And this to you was something that you brought up right in the beginning. It came very early on, with Rex and the thing with her mother, and when we were together like that time, it's a big thing. You're breaking your cycle and breaking the cycles for, like in this case, the cycle with Mason, to not see it perpetuate. Yes.
Yes.
It's a big deal. So there's a lot going on here. You asked, how does this make sense? And this is what I'm trying to express, in my opinion here, because this is stuff that, yes, there is a measure of subjectivity to it, but there's an underlying logic to it also. So I'm seeing to me the make sense logic of it, as I see it. There's probably a bunch of other ways in which it also makes sense, in that capital M, capital S makes sense. But these are just a few that I see now, and they are ridiculously profound to me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does what I'm saying resonate, fit, make sense to you? Does it connect in any?
Okay. It does.
So this is a profound undertaking, not one likely to essentially, get involved, right, with Mason and his grandma. Right now, you aren't involved, other than, occasionally connecting with, or semi-regularly, I don't know, with Mason, but you're not involved in the drama as such, right? As far as I know, not, yeah?
No.
Oh, okay. But, to choose to deliberately get involved in that drama, this is a big deal. And, it's a very consequential thing too. I mean, Mason is your grandson too, right?
Right.
Right. So, so who knows, I mean, you get involved, yeah, you have to really think this through very carefully. Now, there's ways to get involved, and of course you don't have to, but you are being tasked to consider getting involved seriously, not necessarily to get involved. So there's an important distinction, Donna, right? You're being tasked to pay attention, right? Now, how you get involved, this is a matter of strategy and sensibility and logic, because, you might get involved and you end up with the one who's now responsible for Mason, yes? It's possible.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, okay, you might not allow it to happen, but, the way things happen with this stuff is, okay, you're the grandma and this one's not fit. Who's there to take care of him other than putting him in a foster home? Just saying.
Mom?
Oh, the mom can take care of him?
Why not?
I agree. Why not? I don't know the exact details of the situation. I'm simply, from the little that I know, I'm simply saying, extreme circumstances here, just to be aware of possibilities and to set your
Yeah, I
strategy.
thought them all through.
Okay.
I'm in the process of processing all that. I
Gotcha.
haven't done anything with it until I've done that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course to do it when you're in full health too, you know. So this whole, the whole virus thing now, this is just, it's like the universe is saying to the whole world, hey, you're on pause, power pause right here. So, well,
It is. Everything's on pause.
yeah,
Everything seems really, really weird right now.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
bizarre
yeah.
stuff going on.
But it is now is exactly the time, to continue and for us to redo and go into way of impeccability. It is precisely the time for it. Yeah. I love how you're redoing this. It's really huge, and it's really huge for me, Donna. If it's a very magical thing for me. Those takeaways, and when you're doing it, I want to do it, not just via the emails. Yes, they're a bonus, but I want to come on the live session, share them first, and afterwards send the emails. It's very important. The live session is very important. Very, very, very important. I can't emphasize enough how important it is. Look like now, I'm doing all the talking. I want to come with you sharing your repeat backs, your takeaways, your dictionary of power, and I just listen. It's very important, Donna. Very, very important. Truly, I cannot emphasize how important it is. I mean, yes, I understand today, your energy is low, and that's why I'm doing this, because I'm sharing energy too, part of my intent here. Um, so, but just to shift to that where you are sharing and you are articulating, you are
How does
elucidating the
how
knowledge
does
that's
the
coming.
whole world why we're if you want to make a sense of something, it's like all the dates are aligning. Sam is in the house, and then his dad's coming on a particular date in April, and the gathering place where I volunteer is closing down to that exact date, and the schools
Wow.
have closed down. In the local schools have closed down for 3 weeks. That exact date. It's like between now and a particular date in April, it seems as though the whole world around my world is
Wow.
like you had said, power pause.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
See, you take that stuff so calmly and you find joy in it. And I'm like, okay, I gotta
But
make sense of this. This
uh,
is unusual
it
for
is
me.
unusual, but just because it's unusual, why does that by default make it a negative
It's not a negative for me.
or
It's
not a
it's
positive?
no, it's not that it's not a positive. It's a mystery
Ah,
that
right, right.
and and I know that it doesn't always serve me well. I enjoy knowing the whys of things and trying to make sense of it all. I do. And so
Yeah,
it's like, this is big. This is
it is.
bigger than
It is.
me.
It is huge. It is huge.
There's just something going on
Wow.
that I don't
It
know.
is. It is. I am reminded when you said of all of this, Donna, and now um, in terms of what you said, um, that the hugeness not only of this year from okay, from an astronomical point of view, it's a very peculiar and unusual year. It's once in a century or 2 centuries year. It is an unusual year, and the entire year it's all about paradigm shifting. So this pandemic, it is a paradigm shift. I don't know in my memory. Uh, uh, in my memory wherever that this level of close down ever existed. So this is like a new thing. It's a paradigm shift. Um, this is huge. It's huge, but it causes everybody to reevaluate everything. But the point that came to me when you said all this and the dates aligning for you is something Don Juan said that's always stuck with me. You know, there's a few things that he says that stick really deeply in me. He said that he said the hardest thing to get an apprentice to understand, his words, not mine, his words, is that the world is a description. He said all of his efforts, every single thing he did, and by implication, spirit or the universe, all of its efforts are geared to this understanding, this preposterous, ridiculous idea that the world is a description and you are the one doing the describing. You are responsible for it, in a sense, right? So when you look at all of these things and these states and everything, this is to kind of reinforce this point that, hey, it's all about you and it's evolving around you, your beliefs, your ideas. Now, we don't have the level of energy or finesse, detail, and awareness to tweak the fine things. In the overall, we have ideas and beliefs and perceptions, and then somehow, they get put into the computer and the computer tries to apply them, right? And it does the best job it can. But when you kind of work backward and you say, let me look at all of this and let me see how it is a consequence of my belief, of my ideas, of my perception of how things are working and happening, and then it's a very, very big, massive, huge shift. And eventually we get to the point that, oh my God, I'm stuff that's going on in me, it's affecting the whole world. Now, of course, this is so preposterous that we refuse to believe it. And, we're scared as hell of this idea because we don't want to be egomaniacs, right? So this is a huge deal. Just checking out the neighbors here and the little kitties. Let's see what they're up to. So this is important, Donna. It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal.
Well, it feels for me, that I'm in like this world that is all full of puppies and butterflies and sunshine, and I just refuse to go into this fear
Yes.
virus. I
Yes.
just, there's no way
Yes.
I'm gonna
Yes.
do that. And everybody keeps
Yes.
like
Yes.
coming
Coming
in,
up
like
from
my
the
boss
in.
keeps coming
Fuck.
in and he's like,
Fuck.
what are we gonna do? And
Fuck. And here is a big point, Donna. All right. So again, you remind me of Donna Soledad. There's one of the people in the story with Don Juan, one of Don Juan's other apprentices. Her name is Donna Soledad, and she remind me so much of her, just everything. So even the name, of course, it's Donna differently, but doesn't matter. There's just so much similarity. Anyway, just a by the side. So the other point that Don Juan said about this world being a description, he said, look, it's not just such a simple thing that I describe the world and there we go, because otherwise,
right,
we'd essentially be God. It doesn't work that way. How it does work is that it's a collaborative description, right? And he says essentially that as kids, we get sucked into this and pulled into this, through just society and upbringing and all of the stuff, right? So he called this the ring of power, and that collaborative description of the world is he calls the ring of power. And to him, the objective was to unhook from it and and tap into a second ring of power, and it's actually a name of one of the books. Let's see, one, two, three, four. The fifth book is called Second Ring of Power. It's first Tales of Power, and then the Second Ring of Power. So, so this is a huge deal, right? And he's saying that this hooking to your second ring of power, this is when you have that ability for you to describe things your way and how it works for you and all that. So, you know, this is a big deal. It's a very big deal. Sorry, I need to leave this in a needs me. Okay. Um, so so this whole point is, unhooking from the description, and this is exactly the pressure that you're facing at work. Everybody's trying to get you to tap into this virus description. Same, yeah, I refuse. No, thank you very much. That's your stuff and your nonsense. I refuse to be involved in that. I'm not going to get sucked into your stuff. And not only with this, but it's a virus. How many psychological viruses are out there? Guilt is one such virus. Yes?
Oh yeah, I get all
So
about it.
exactly. So now now you know what's at stake. So all of this, when we look at it from this context of the universe putting pressure on Donna to say, "Oh, wow, man, it's really helping me. It's helping me to unhook from this ring of power." Now all of these confluences and all of the states and all of this, it's to draw your attention. It's anomalies to draw your attention, and always there's some profound make sense underlying it. Now, when you look at all of this, doesn't it really make sense in a most incredible way? Now you can look at the same thing with Mason, with Page, with all of the stuff. They are mechanisms to suck you into the description, to the ring of power. And you say, no, 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 no. I'm unhooking from this. I want to hook to the second ring of power, which is a more magical ring of power. It is my own independent ring of power. It is a whole different paradigm of world and description and all of this, right? It's a
Right.
ring that has freedom and impeccability and all of this attached to it. So very different description. So now it all makes sense, no?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Right, right. So now you get back to this point with Mason, where of course it always was, you're being tasked to pay attention to it, not necessarily get involved, pay attention to it. Now you can decide, oh, what is the real lesson? Is it to actually resolve this and fix it? Which would be nice, and it would help you with your past and any residual guilt and all of that, what I was saying about proving that it's not possible in the past, all the stuff. You can also say, hey, but on the other hand, it's also sucking me into this ring of power again, you know and I said, no, sorry, you know I've broken the cycle, and I need to move on. There's always going to be the shit in the world. We can't, it's part of the necessity of the world, that there is shit in the world, because it forces you to choose goodness and sensitivity and sensibility and awesomeness and awareness and attention and all impeccability for yourself, deliberately, consciously. If you don't choose it for yourself, it's not real, right? So all the shit is the pressure to choose goodness and magic and wonder for yourself deliberately. So there's a sense to it. The shit in the world is there, and it makes sense that it's there. It's how we grow lotus blossoms, right? Does it make sense what I'm saying, Donna? I'm just sharing, more perspectives and alternatives.
I'm just processing what you're saying. But the situation with Mason, the piece that makes it different is that he's a child.
Yeah.
And as far as getting involved, I can't change her. And right now, Mason lives with her, and Mason's dad lives there. So, what would my end goal be in getting involved in that? There's nothing that I'm going to be able to say that if she's being mean to him and hitting him, that I'm going to even be able to change that. The only way I could change that is to walk into it and take him out of that situation.
Say again that you won't be able to change. Say again.
It doesn't matter.
No. I want to hear. Sorry, I was trying to hear it again. It's key. It's important.
It's all good.
What's that?
I said it's all good.
Oh no, I really want to hear. Please, Donna. You're saying with Mason and his dad. Who's his dad now? Donna, where'd you go?
How's Olivia doing?
She's good. She just had to withdraw some stuff, and she was having trouble with the pin. It's all taken care of now. So sorry for that.
Is she still in Sedona?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. She just So from the, the funds, I said, yeah, just draw some. So, but she was having trouble getting it out with, anyway. So this is, anyway, it's sorted. So, yeah, yeah. I mean, she was there, and she's, I can't say later because she's at the ATM and she struggles to get there a little bit. So anyway, so it's,
But
it's taken
I
care of.
enjoy her posts. I
Oh,
have
I
to
do.
read them several times before I get them.
Yeah. She likes being cryptic, and sometimes her posts are insensible, by the way. So they don't always necessarily, because they're very private sometimes, and she knows that they're not going to make sense to anybody. It's just okay, keep people on their toes. So
Yeah,
she,
for
she
sure.
enjoys it. But I mean, so it makes us think, which is very cool. So I love it too. It's very profound. So what were you saying with Mason and his dad? Sorry, I really want to hear that again. I didn't catch all of it. I hate being distracted. I know, I truly do. I really make an effort to
Not a
give
big
the
deal.
attention, but
It just,
it's a big deal
the
to me.
pause, just, I don't need to continue on with it.
Uh, uh,
Sounds good.
it was self-remedying, in other words, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, my curiosity is just there. Whenever something, I don't hear it properly, then I stay curious until I don't get resolution then, you see. So, um, but yeah, I imagine that, you were saying, if I understood you correctly, that it's about choosing how much you want to get involved with Mason and his dad and all of this stuff, yeah?
Well, I viewed with my own eyes a woman that was like out of control mad. And it
Yeah,
was the kind of raging anger that I haven't been around in a long time.
yeah,
And so it wasn't as though he just told me and I didn't see anything. I didn't
yeah,
see it or hit him by any means, but
yeah,
she was very angry. And
yeah,
so the point was that he's a child and he's in a situation where he's
yeah,
living with his dad. And his dad lives with the grandma, and the grandma primarily raises him. So I have to think all the way through to the end. And when I think of, okay, I could sit down and talk to just her, or I could sit down and talk to her, and I could text Jake and Amanda, the mom and dad, and make them aware, but then what good does that do? So when I go through the scenarios of how to handle the situation, I'm trying to just think it through all the way to the end and what
yeah,
is the end result.
yeah,
I'm not going to change her and I'm not going to change her behavior. And that is not my end goal. But
right,
Mason is a child. That's
right,
the fact that
yeah,
fact right
yeah,
there is what
yeah,
makes this situation different
right,
than Sam's, than
right.
looking at my past with how I handled
Exactly,
Brian
exactly.
and
Exactly. It is different, but you mentioning it to Amanda and what was his name? This may just shift
Jake.
the balance of how much care the grandmother gets and how much responsible. If she's not as involved and as responsible, it might just she's able to manage the anger. Just the continuity, just the pressure. When people are low energy and they're a bit stressed and it's too much for them, then they get angry like that. So if you just reduce that somewhat, just shift the balance of how much he takes care of it. Amanda and whatever his name is, maybe just shifting a lot of responsibility onto her more than that they should. And to say now, hey, you know what, this is a bit much for her. She's responding with anger. Then they can change that. And that's all that's needed, maybe just a shift where now, let's say the ratio is 60-40 with the grandma, it can just reverse to being, 60-40 the other way or 70-30 the other way. And okay, now it's all chill and fine. It's not a huge shift, but it's a significant shift. And it just gives her that a little bit of space and distance she needs that so that she can interact with him. And presently, that's not too much and she doesn't get into anger. I'm just saying, so, just a simple mention might make a very big difference, no?
Maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, all
Nothing
you need is
seems,
sharing
really
away.
honestly, nothing seems like, I mean, it really feels like every single thought that you have going on in your head plays out. That's where I feel like we're at.
Yeah,
Like every
yes,
single
Donna.
thought. Okay,
Yes, yes.
so the dog peed on the carpet and I just had him out. Oh, that pissed me off. Oh, the next thing I know, I get some situation happening where somebody's all pissed off, and I'm like, yeah, I can relate to that. I just had that thought 5 minutes ago.
uh, exactly. And this is where impeccability comes into play. Because the
Oh,
world is a description, and our thoughts do manifest, not quite in the way that people would like them to. They want them to be always manifesting in beneficial ways. But if you are undisciplined with your thinking, like what this is, right, and you're thinking stuff like this and you're getting pissed off with stuff, well, then you're going to see it. So, yeah, that's what the impeccability is all about, is to be impeccable not only with our thoughts, but with our feelings and our habits, with our attention, to paying attention to attention itself, exactly as you're doing now, to see, oh my God, yes, I have responsibility to myself to not bring this crap into my world.
of course. I know all
So
that
we have to
is.
be really disciplined with our thinking, and not
But
just disciplined.
can't we have some balance as we're working our way through our way of impeccability? Can't we
I
have
Yeah,
some joy and some fun stuff? Does it always have to be the
no,
the
it can
oh, I
be.
had a
Right,
negative thought.
right,
That wasn't
right,
very good.
right. But look at what you just did right there. This is a belief and a thought that it isn't balanced, and that it isn't in shifted, and it isn't predominantly joyful and magical and wonderful. That's an underlying belief that you just articulated. If we step away from it, so this needs to change. The idea that it somehow is that, it's just a perspective shift. When we start to see all the magic and we say, oh, I was just looking at it at one part of the world and a tiny part, and I was looking at it through a particular filter. But if I shift my filter and start to see it as all magical and know the magic and connect to the magic only, now I shift my reactivity. Same stuff, different vision, different perspective. This is the magic of perspective shifting and overview perspective. It enables that, and now we feel differently, and we aren't bothered by stuff because we see the necessity of it. We understand.
I get all that. I do. I get it. I just can't stay in it. Like this situation with Mason is
Yeah,
troublesome to me.
yeah, yeah.
And it's a reflection of something within me as far as patience level. And
That's yeah,
I recognize that, and it's very challenging to know that your thought is creating those situations.
yeah,
And
yeah,
for the most part, I see things as magical and joyful,
right,
but
right.
not always. I'm not,
Yep,
there's
yep,
no way
yep,
I'm
yep,
always
yep,
there.
yep, yep. But Donna, here's the key thing too. You've shifted into your divine being self, right? And connecting to it. Now, what does a divine being do? They create the world. That's what they do. This is part of divinity, is world creation, and stuff happening in the world and so on and so forth. Not necessarily creating a whole world, but part of divine beings is making stuff happen in the world. So now that you've shifted into your divine self, you now also have taken on a profound responsibility and a task and a doing that you might not have asked for, but you are getting. And this is something that it's like, oh, you can't ignore this now, that your thoughts are consequential. Your
I
thoughts, your
understand
feelings, your,
that.
yeah. How exciting is that, though? It's like,
I
man,
it's
divine self to the
it's
max.
a huge
It's what?
uh,
I didn't hear you, broke up. Say again.
okay, this is why I don't say anything, because when I say it, you think I'm there all the time, and then you're like share with me that I have to keep this perspective and stuff, which makes me not want to say anything. I get everything you're saying. I'm already aware. I've been aware for a long time that every
Right,
single thing, and then once you do connect and you are attuned, it's a huge responsibility. It's like literally every single thought matters. It's a
right.
huge responsibility.
Yeah. I'm quite
Yeah.
methodical. I'm a bit methodical. I'm not understanding that you said why I don't share. Because I did something. What did I do? I'm not following what the consequence is and the connectivity. I'm confused.
Okay. When I'm being real and I say I'm not always attuned and I don't always think it's magical, and I have thoughts like getting pissed off that Riley pooped on the carpet or peed on the carpet, I'm just keeping it real. I'm not always like angelic and have these delightful thoughts every second of every day, but I know that every thought matters, and that's what I strive to be, and maybe
Well,
someday I'll be that, but when I share that I'm not, I feel like I shouldn't share it because then more of it's going to come.
Oh, no, nonsense. No, 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 no. You share it because you're acknowledging that it's something that you are working on. And in the sharing, you are expressing an intent.
It's
You,
just a big responsibility
right. But when you
to,
shared with me that you got pissed off with Riley pooping on the carpet, were you not sharing an intent? You were sharing an intent. This is what I heard. I didn't hear you saying about yes, getting pissed off and making more of it. Okay, it inadvertently happened that way, but nonetheless, in that entire story, what I heard was a profound intent for Donna to keep working on it in order to change it so that it doesn't happen. But by expressing it and articulating it, you put that intent out there and confirmed it and committed to it. So the sharing is ridiculously powerful. It doesn't entrench it by any means. No, it does quite the opposite. Because there was no intent, nothing in there. It was the point of it wasn't the story about pooping and getting annoyed and happening. That's just the detail, the mechanism. The intent behind it was an intent to change this because it is a consequence that you don't care for. You were expressing a really deep and profound intent to keep working on this and to actually change it and to not have it be in your life. That's what I heard.
right.
That's awesome, isn't it? And this is profoundly useful. So I'm just going on this point where you're saying, oh, I shouldn't share. No, 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 no. Absolutely. This is why I want to hear the sharings because and not just for my own joy of hearing you share it, but because it also consolidates and confirms your intent and mine. And through our combined collaborative energies, I have that exact same intent, exactly the same as you, Don. Yes, I get irritated and annoyed at shit sometimes too, you know. And I don't see watch the TV and fucking morons, and I just like so same thing. I really work hard at not saying that. That private positivity. When you go over that particular session again, this is going to be a huge session, Donna. It's a huge, huge deal. This is how I've managed, for me, really reduce that very profoundly. And those consequential things that I see happening as a consequence of this stuff, like exactly what you're saying, this has helped me tremendously. So this is you sharing it. It's saying, hey, this is something we're going to do together. Yeah, I always say we do this together, and I really mean it, Donna. We're in this together. So no, please, please, the sharing is absolutely critical and necessary and valuable. Absolutely critical and valuable. It's very, very important. Very, very important. It's the mechanism by which we get out of the trench that we're in. When we are stuck, we need more to get us out of our stuckness sometimes. And sharing is that mechanism to mourn us. That's a nice quote. I like that. Yeah, I try and listen to myself sometimes because, I'm a bloody arsehole off the time. So, so it's helpful to listen to myself. Where's this file now? Where's this file? What did I say, Donna? I can't see my file now. There we go. What was that I
Can't
just said?
remember. I
Ah,
can't
bloody
remember.
hell. Ah, bloody hell. You're hopeless. You're hopeless.
No, I can't remember
No.
things lately.
Hearing is a mechanism to mourn us. Yes? All right, I'm gonna expand on it a bit. To mourn us beyond what we can attain individually. Yes?
Mhm.
You like that?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Very cool. So yes, please, Donna. Please, Donna. Please, 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 please. That's why I get so excited when you come on and share, because it's such a huge deal for me. It's such a massive point. And like you're saying about this point of, being stressed at the crap in the world, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. It's no small thing for me.
It's not even that. I don't know. Sometimes it's the situations, but rarely it is. It's the awareness that it's the situation. No, it's the awareness that you brought on the situation yourself. And
Yes,
then I feel as though it's like a test.
yes,
And the people involved in this situation, I still have this feeling that they have an awareness that they're a part of it. Maybe not. Maybe they're just going through their life just totally unaware, and the universe is just using them as a mechanism to show me what I need to learn. I don't know. But like the guy, we have a neighbor, a new neighbor, and he's an audiologist. And he has a dog that has a Buddha name that means body and enlightenment. And, it's just like, really? How does that just happen? It doesn't just, it
positive
doesn't.
consequence of thoughts. Well, I'm assuming it's a positive. I don't know, maybe not. I'm not sure. Maybe I must point to your story completely.
No, I mean, that particular thing is cool. I feel like we're creating this new world. There's
Yeah,
some people that are like creating it because
yeah,
it just, this other one doesn't feel real to me. I don't feel connected to it.
yeah.
And like when my boss comes in and he's talking about the virus and how he can't meet with the clients anymore because they're elderly and they're very like
Yeah,
susceptible, so
yeah,
it's like impacting business and stuff. Like I
yeah.
sent him a thing today that was a Facebook post that was like, your thoughts matter, and if we all as a society go into this hysteria, we're just creating more
Yeah.
of what, you know,
Oh wow!
kind of
What did
thing.
he?
And
How did he respond to that?
he didn't. He just kept going. I didn't go into work today, but I happened to. He was leaving and I was coming into work. I was hoping nobody was here, to be honest. But I passed him on the way out and he was talking about the virus and stuff. And I looked at him and I said, I refuse to live my life in fear. I will be wise and I will be, making wise decisions. And if
Right.
there's a virus out there, fine. I'm not going to go in the middle of it, but I'm not going to sit here and get all caught up in that.
Yep. Unrelenting positivity, Donna. Truly, unrelenting positivity has saved my life, Donna. If it wasn't for unrelenting positivity, I would have been dead many, many times over. I'm not saying that lightly. Really and truly, I would have been dead a long time ago, many times. Unrelenting positivity is that's what's why I'm still here. So, I insist on seeing everything as positive in some possible way. I insist on it, and I find it. Okay, so let's say the coronavirus has come down, and it is, some aliens brought it in for some more gods or angels or whatever, because they are forcing the world to change and work together. Everybody's been setting this intent for this division in the country to end. Yes,
Right.
and the world and all. Well, something like this is what brings people together. There's your
Right.
solution, people. You've intended this. You brought it on yourselves. Celebrate it. Don't lament it. Celebrate it. It's a time for you to go not only work together and cooperate and to have compassion for your fellow neighbor and to realize that all your stupid idiotic politics means shit in the face of this. So shut up and get real. Yes.
Right.
You wanted unity, you wanted to transcend politics. Well, there you go. Transcend it now, right? Not only that, but it's forcing everybody to go into their homes and to face, and what are you going to do when you're sitting there on your own? Well, go inward and get your shit sorted out. Make peace with you might die tomorrow. Make peace with yourself. Get your shit together. Do the way of impeccability. Just a little plug for way of impeccability, by the way, since I'm making this broadcast to the universe, right?
Right.
See, I'm rating positivity. I put my plug in there.
Right.
Might as well. Wow, so hey, it's positive. I say, okay, there's some positive in it that at least people will do this, and maybe there's some positive in it for me. We always have to make that positive some way, find it to connect it to the little ego, selfish me that's inside there, just to pacify them. Okay, because this is how we leverage our intent. When we can connect our personal, idiotic little personal desires in some way to the grand scheme, then it's like all in attunement. It's a very childish thing, but it's very effective. It's very, very, very effective to leverage ourselves in this way. When we realize just how stupid some of the things that the little programs inside us are, and you can appease them so easily with such childish maneuvers, like what I just did. Oh, okay. Now Mr. Worry has now turned around because they're always worried about themselves. You know, the me side. Now, oh, this is going to be good for us, right? Because people are going to stay indoors and they're going to be wanting to take courses and stuff online. And okay, you got to, okay, cool. All right. And now they stop worrying. It's ridiculous and it's absurd, but it works, Donna. It's aspect management, which is something that we don't get into wave impeccability much because it's very fiddly. But it's really, 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 really powerful. It's unbelievably powerful. So I leave it for the live sessions because I don't want to write it out because it's too fiddly for writing it out. But that's why these live chats are so important because of shit like this. Managing our aspects is a huge deal, very huge deal, to understand just how absurd they are inside there and how on small little things they because they this mindless computer programs really, and on very small things do they leverage and twist, and they can affect our whole lives. One misbelief by one aspect can really screw us up quite profoundly. So we have to managing them. We really have to manage them, and part of their management is this kind of strategy. You know, it's belief management. Really, it's very important. Association management, belief management, huge, really magical. Now, so when you listen to those little inner voices of yours, and you say, "Okay, now how can I deal with them? What do I need to do to appease?" They can be virtually appeased, like in this case now, right? That little Mr. Worry, the self-centered one, right? The me guy, right? I don't know what to call him. I can just call him ego, or the inner narcissist, or whatever you want to call it, right? In that little fun thing that I was doing there, when I just threw that little plug in, that satisfies that part of the worry. Oh, but this is good for me. How can I worry now? So we can leverage that ridiculously selfish, self-centered side of ours. It's in there. But if it's not appeased, if it's not dealt with, you don't have to do it in reality. You can do it virtually, as I just did now. Now he's chill, now he's quiet, now he's happy. Now to him, the coronavirus is, oh, this is a boon for us. Okay. It doesn't change the rest of me, which sees it for what it is. It doesn't change my sobriety. It doesn't change my higher self, which says, you actually did have a point there that, yes, when you really do look at this as a manifestation of intent, it actually is. Right? All that negativity and crap is just transformed into a virus, but it was attached to and intended to resolution to transcend all of this. And here you have it. So, oh, my higher self said, yes, you were kind of okay saying this, but it's actually true what you're saying when you think it through. So now we start to make sense, and okay, life is easy. So, but you need to make sense in an irrational way for irrational things. Their sense is different to your higher self sense. Right? Mr. Selfish, his sense is very different to every other sense. Yeah. It's amazing. It really is amazing, because that's what we grew up with. We have these little programs that were given life by whatever. We have to just deal with them. I don't know how to get rid of them, and I don't think you can easily because, self doesn't like to throw away stuff, and they are useful. I mean, I'm leveraging him now to put me at peace. Okay, now I'm at peace. So, yeah, it's value. Does it make sense what I'm saying, Donna? I know
Yeah.
it's a complex thing that I'm getting into, and we're low
No, I
energy.
mean, did you read my session 3?
Yes.
It relates to everything you're saying.
Okay. Okay. I did. I loved it. I added it to the course. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I just meant to send them to you.
Oh, did you mind me adding them?
Mm,
Yes. Okay. I'll take them off. Never mind. Sorry. I just assumed, that it would be okay. It's my bad. I should have asked. Yes. Yes. You're right. My bad. My bad. My bad. My very bad. Sorry, Donna. Sorry. I was so excited, I just love this idea of the course being collaborative. So,
I
and
don't. You can do it. I just.
no, no,
I
I
did
didn't
the
ask. I didn't
pictures.
ask. I didn't ask. I should have. I didn't ask.
I did
So
the pictures just quickly for me and fun, and I don't know where you find those beautiful pictures, but I mean, if I was
I
gonna,
have them in my files. So
oh,
your
they're
picture,
so pretty.
I have lots in my files. So I like your picture too. It came a little fuzzy, unfortunately. So that's why I shared the link with Pixabay to you.
Yeah, I
Because
saw that.
yeah, in Pixabay they come in high resolution, and there's just tons of gorgeous stuff there. So if you find a picture you want to replace this with, let me know, because the focus is unfortunately a little not so cool. But
Yeah.
Donna, what you shared here, you know, I really feel bad that I didn't ask, you know, and I really, really feel bad that I didn't even think to ask. I just kind of took it so for granted.
Maybe you did ask.
Oh, all right. I mean, we did discuss doing this, so you know. But anyway, you know, maybe I sometimes get confused. Like, you know, it's stuff that I'm sharing with Bina and Erica, and we talk about it, and I always feel like you're in the loop because whenever we're on those sessions, you there to me, you know. So I know sometimes not all the stuff you get, you know, updated and we discussed this in the sessions really profoundly, you know, that I want to do this, and I've always wanted to do this. To me, the way of impeccability has always been a collaborative project and one that will grow like this, where you guys, what you share adds to the program and it's continually evolving and fine tuning and updating. It was always this to me. Now, I wanted to show you what I did here. You know, so I'm sorry that you know, I'm so excited about this. But look, see, end session one. There's nothing here that says bonus material following this, right? It's end. That's it. Now, if you're not paying attention and you see there's this extra arrow, you might just close this window and move on, right?
Hmm. Let me get you back up. I have my
Oh,
mind.
oh, 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 no, no, let me screen share. I'm sorry, I
There
keep
we go.
forgetting to. There we go. Okay, so here we go, end session one. Now, if you're not paying attention, you're not going to see this, that there's an extra little arrow there, right? You can easily assume that, um, um, you can
Where's the
easily,
extra arrow?
the,
Where are you speaking of?
these
Oh,
two on the
that?
bottom here, the
Yeah.
scrolling arrows for the slides.
Yes.
If it was the end, there wouldn't be a right one. There'd only be the back one. They're not a forward one, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So I'm saying if you're now just all dopey and you're in your bubble, you're not going to see this bonus material. And I'm not saying, you know, keep going because it says end, right? So if you've got any assumptions, you're not going to see this bonus. And I'm doing this on purpose because I want this stuff to be bonus. And look, I see in the sessions, this up at the top is the name of the module, right?
Right.
It's the name of the module. But at the end of this, I'm saying participant takeaways, you know. So
I like that picture. I wish you could just get the Shutterstock stuff out.
yeah, so what I'll do is, Donna, I'll actually go and look for it since you like it. I'll look for to see, because Shutterstock often they charge you for pictures that you can get free elsewhere, like on Pixabay. So I'll do a Google search for it and see if I can find it.
Well,
Okay.
I like it because it has butterflies and dragonflies. Did you see that?
Yes,
Isn't that
yes,
cool?
yes. I do like that, and it's interesting enough. You don't see it too often for strange
Uh-uh.
reasons. So, so yeah. So the reason that on these I used a border picture rather than a
Yeah.
photograph underneath is because there's a lot of writing involved.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I won't be able to fit it on the slide. And
Gotcha.
and the same for this one. So
Did
this
you
is,
correct my typo?
oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And I corrected a bunch of other ones
I
too.
can be so perfectionist.
Yeah, yeah.
Golly.
No, no. I'm more so because I don't know if you realize how much I edited on here. Actually, it's a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff. Um,
It wasn't ready for like publishing,
no,
so
I
I
know, I know,
appreciate
I
your
know, I know,
editing.
I know, I know, I know, I know. So and I know you didn't send it with this intent. So so no, I just, you know, just adding the full stop. But you know, like I like you where you put double spaces. Is that something that you need to do at work?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, oh, between sentences you put a double space on a regular basis.
No, I
I
don't.
take them all out. Yeah, like let's see. Like there was, you know, between in the past and I, there was a double space. Oh yeah, still one. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, you, there's something that intrigued me because some people, and it's, you know, it's a little bit of a thing in writers. Some swear by it, you have to use it, and others say no, hell no. It was a thing at one point in time. So I don't know, did you learn it, like, you know, if you took some course somewhere, you know, like a
A long
typing
time ago,
class?
our writing was after you did a period, you did a double space.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And that's still in there. That's what I figured. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's gone now, but it was a thing. All right. So your dictionary of power, by the way, is unique. You know that,
Well,
right?
that's just for the module. Why is it unique?
Well, because you're the only one who's doing it in the way it's intended. Before you get to module 3, session 1 on the philosophy of takeaway, in the beginning, it says, yes, put in the conceptions and your power terms, put them in the dictionary of power. It says nothing at all about writing a definition or a delineation. So if you look at like Erica, if you go to her, where that one session where we're doing the screen share and you can see her files, right, where she's putting in the repeat backs and the takeaways, and it's this wonderful, magically complex thing that she's got going on there. It's really something special that she's got going on because of her thoroughness, right? I mean, she's taking it to the nth degree. It's obviously not necessary, but it is nice to see it in its. But she doesn't have, she just has the terms, just intent, knowing, feel, apply. She doesn't have the definitions or the expanded insights onto it. So that's why I'm saying, and nobody else has either. I specifically left it out in the beginning so as not to overwhelm. I don't specifically say add it. Only in the philosophy of, no, not even in the philosophy of takeaway, in session 3 of module 3, the dictionary of power session, only there is it mentioned to do the extended descriptions, right? But you just did it automatically, which is very cool. So, but then I'm putting this in here to put this insight to show that what you are doing, I mean, intent. This is, if you ask me to give a delineation and elucidation of what intent is, I'm not going to say that, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to say a lot more. It is so. What the magic of this is, and why I want it here is, first of all, it is obviously showing that there's definitions, but also it is showing the precise personalness of it. It is very clear and obvious that your definition here is a personal thing. It's not you are going to say this is an intent, a definition of intent that, this is what intent means. It's what it means to me. It's a little cue. It's a mnemonic device for you to connect to moreness. And this is what I wish to share and communicate. By implication, you are making this clear. Emphasis, the exclamation point of life. This is fantastic. This is poetic. This is really more. Of course, you know what emphasis is and changes the brain, and you could say more on emphasis if asked. But this is you. It's Donna's dictionary of power.
Right.
So this little exemplification here, it's really, really magical. And it's very poetic as well. It's very special, Now, you have some, like feel. This is a fantastic definition of feel. Really awesome. And I will use that. So you have both here. You have really extended definitions which expand our understanding of the word, and you have those that are purely personal, and you have those that are poetic, like your exclamation point thing, It's very magical, this, Donna. It really, really is magical. Now, I don't necessarily intend to put every single thing you share with me, but what you said was so pertinent, and I wanted to get this process going. So I know I pushed Bina to say, hey, I want some of your takeaways. And Bina was saying, when she first made notes in the beginning, she took a lot of notes, but for all stuff that I was saying, she took very few notes of what she was saying. And the one note that she didn't make, or at least that she's come to so far, I don't think she's finished going through it, was about moreness to her meant adding more selves. She said a self, but now she's adapted it, adjusted to say selves. Adding more selves to ourselves. This is what moreness meant to her back in, at some point. Isn't that something? So I do want to put, take off from everybody. And so I might remove some of what you have here, so it's not too much, but to have something from Erica, from Bina, from Donna, from Sher, from everybody. Yeah?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So, in a way too, there's an implication that, hey, that your stuff isn't just when somebody shares, like new people like Sue now, when you're sharing this, it adds to the program. Potentially it's going to be added here, right? You feel like you're a part of something bigger by implication. So me putting this up here just because I have it now, and I did some of Erica's, and you adding yours and now Bina's, this is going to very significantly add to new people coming on like Sue, So it's a very big deal. It's a very, very big deal. It's
what's the new person's name?
Sue.
Sue.
Yeah, Sue.
That's what you've been saying.
Sorry, what does it sound like I'm saying? I know my accent.
I wouldn't have guessed Sue.
Spell what you think. Spell what you think I'm saying.
Zoo, Z-O-O.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! I had a waitress once who was Sue, but Sioux. Sioux.
Oh, jeez. Gotcha.
No, no, it's quite a wild creature.
All right. Well, it's getting late. I'm gonna
Right.
head out of here.
Yeah. So I'm just saying by implication. I want everyone doing the program to realize that this is a collaboration. The wave of impeccability is a collaboration, and they can be part of extending it, fine tuning it, adding to it. To me, that's really profound, don't you think? Isn't that a
I
big
do
deal?
think. Yes, absolutely. I think that.
So my profound apologies for just assuming that this would be okay.
I don't think you did. I just think in my
Oh,
head I was like, my
oh,
intent was to send it to you, and then when it got on there,
oh.
but I
Yeah, now
feel
that you
like
do
you.
mention it, I actually did ask you to send it to me
I
so that
feel
I could
like you
see it.
did.
Yeah, true. I did actually. All right, all right. Okay, never mind. Either
So
way,
what? Why
the
were
fact
you
that I don't remember,
apologizing to
it
me?
wasn't
Yeah,
means
well,
that I
you
didn't
did.
pay enough attention to it. So, but yeah, and please don't ever worry with editing and all of that. And I just put your name here because that the saying that it is participants because everybody knows. I mention you all the time. So even if you haven't met Sue, she knows about you. Just knows that you do this regularly. You've been at it a long time, and that you're very profound and magical and awesome and all this. Okay, I don't push you up. So I don't make you into something that's like I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I just say that you are a long term, you are profound, and you are a dear friend, and so on. So they know that this is somebody who's doing the program or has done it, and that it's part of this livingness. And I mentioned that it's to me, it is a livingness. So one thing that I did notice, I'm saying I got to mention to Donna is the capitalizing of the power terms and the hyphens. So I don't know. It's a small thing, but I had to fix that. Now you can, of course, whether you do it yourself or not, it doesn't matter. Like, oh, see, I just capitalized, but I didn't. There we go. I even missed that. There, that one I got right. I just put the capital A away and it's capital A apply. Just for those ones that are in a tune. That's so key. So, I don't know. But takeaways is a particular one. Donna, the reason I like that capitalizing is because it is profound leverage on our inner bureaucrats. Whenever we do this, divine self, the hyphen with it takes a little extra effort to do that. But when you do that, your bureaucrats, but why? Well, because it's really important. And it just keeps emphasizing. So whenever we do these terms like this, it's a discipline. And it's a really profound discipline that forces us to not only pay attention to detail, which is really huge, but it is a discipline of emphasis. And it really makes a difference, Donna. It really, really makes a difference. It's amazing. Simple things. See, I forget, I've been tired, Donna, and so I went over this and I was deliberate, but I'm missing stuff, you see. I know it. I know it. So I know that I'm tired and the stuff that's affecting me. So I got to sleep early. Like I'm gonna go to bed in a little bit now. So
Yeah, me too.
I just
All
watch
right.
some Netflix stuff and just chill. So.
It's 9:45, and I gotta get up at 4.
Oh
So
gosh, yes. Oh, I
4:30.
forget. I forget that you 3 hours. So thank you very much for these additions, Nana. They are really, really awesome. I mean, truly, I cannot express to you how much of a difference they make.
Thanks for editing them.
Oh, that's taken as a given. I'm gonna edit. I can't help myself from editing anymore. Yeah. And I'm glad you like the pictures. So
Yeah, they look good.
I try. And I particularly look to see what I thought Donna would like. It's
Did
quite
you?
exciting. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. What matches in mood to Donna and what's expressed here, what's appropriate. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, very much, very, very much. Yeah. No, it's not easy.
Awesome.
It's not, well, I'll show you. I'll show you. Okay, look at the choices. Now, I did this and it was quite late at night, right? So I was somewhat in a hurry and I didn't want to go through my entire file. Now I have more on my computer. This is already what I've uploaded. So I've used it somewhere else and I'm reusing it. Or at least some of these are uploaded and I haven't used yet. But these are the choices, right? So you see, I need something that's got some openness, and this one it has a lot of open space. So there's and it's okay, I can turn it. So this one was a potential that I considered. This one, yes, it wasn't loaded first. I thought of that one maybe. I wanted to match the dragonflies. That's why this one was so bright and cheerful. See?
I like that one.
Yeah, and then the takeaways was a little bit more sober. A little bit more serious. Like I
Oh,
thought,
more serious, yeah.
yeah,
But I like the colors of it. I love
exactly,
purples and blues and greens.
exactly. So there was a color theme going through this. These didn't have enough color for you.
Uh-uh.
And I used this one for Erica's one because her point was quite sober, and it didn't have that joy that yours and that innocence. Your takeaway has a lot of innocence to it. Real magical childlike innocence, which I absolutely love. And it was a big part of today's session with Erica. So I would really recommend, Donna, I know you've got a lot to do. I know you've got a lot going on. I know you're doing the program also. But if you ever get time, and anyway, try and watch those Erica sessions. Not because it's Erica, but because of the focus on it is very tight from my point of view, much tighter than usual. And it's going to be even tighter with Sue. But the nature of it is bringing out a very fine precision and a refinement. And when I'm articulating stuff like today, there was a big thing on childlikeness and the whole point, and it's huge. And it's really something that I was thinking specifically, man, I so wish Donna was here, or at least Donna will watch this. So if you get a chance, really watch those videos. They are worth watching. They really are.
All right.
They really are. So you see what I'm saying now, it gets more photos. And, when there's a lot of text, you can't use all of these photos for long text. You see like this, you can put a little bit here, but so, this one, you can't really put text on.
I love
I can
that
put it in the
one.
background. Yes. I can put text here, but I have to put the background behind the text.
Right.
But again, for a lot of text, it would kill the picture. So, for a short quote from Donna, yes, that would be profound. So we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. But you see, isn't this just? I mean, sorry. Since we started here now, I used this one for another one of in at the end of one of the. That was session one. I think it's session three. I added something of yours, and I used this picture here, Donna.
That's a cool one.
Yeah. So I try, and I think I used.
Love water.
I used the picture I made a post of one of your things too. Did you see? In the group.
I did.
Yeah.
That one you did with Erica's, that picture you chose for Erica's, that was perfect.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah. So, I have more borders. So I have a lot of choices. I purposely uploaded a ton of stuff so that it won't be repetitive, So, but I kind of, when I do a new project, then I kind of start at the top. So for the post, the bonus material, I'm now starting at the top. So, next one I'll use the ones I haven't used yet, and I'll keep working my way down so that it doesn't repeat closely. I love this picture too. This garden one, it's so pretty. But all of these pictures, I love them all. This one here with the
the
tree,
bright, yeah,
and the river and the very bright flowers. Yeah, I mean it's a photograph, that one, not a artwork, not a painting. It's a photograph. Yeah. So yeah, I mean I'll just scroll down. Look where the little scroll bar thing is.
Yeah,
I'm very thorough. I'm very thorough, Donna. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So. But you use a lot of them. It's amazing, Isn't that exciting? I just love these. They give me great joy. They really do. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. So, okay. So my task is, before I go to sleep, is to find that picture of Donna's, the dragonfly one. Wait. Why do I think I have that picture? Why do I think I have it? Huh.
The dragonfly and the butterfly?
Yes. I'm just thinking now. I think I already have that picture.
That'd be something.
But it might be that it's not in this file. These are all free to use pictures. So I might have it in my blog pictures file. When I first started, I didn't use free to use pictures. I just went and sucked them anywhere off the internet. I didn't know better. So, and then
Is that Ryan? I do that too.
No, it's not him, but I used it in that preacher story, so it's not him, but it does look a lot like him. So where is it? I have to scroll slowly because they're not loading fast enough. But I really think I have that picture already. Anyway, so yeah, so the pictures are a big deal, and I don't quite get to use, like, if you look at my blog pictures, I have magical pictures there which I can't use here because this is a commercial product. My blog is not commercial, so somebody complains like, they can't really sue you for, but yeah, you're making money on this, and they can actually sue you and claim money if you're using a picture that isn't royalty free. So, and it's happened to people, and they've been very miserable and upset and unhappy. They used it like on books and stuff, and then people sued them and they had to pay them. Yeah. So, okay, just a little bit more scrolling. Hang in there, Donna. Hang in there. We're nearly at the end. We're nearly at the end. It's just loading a little slowish. Okay, come, come, come. I'll be so happy if it is here. It would be so magical. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, we're coming. Yeah, we're coming. It was, yeah. Hold on. You just got to look carefully because maybe it's not exactly the same, but it's really close, and it's part of this grouping. Yes, yes, yes. Come, dragonflies and butterfly picture. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, we're nearly at the end, Donna. We're nearly at the end. These take quite a lot of effort to find, by the way. I have to search through thousands or tens of thousands to find good ones. These vector things. Here we go. This is the picture I was thinking of. It's not that same one, but this is what I was thinking of. But I'll find yours. This is butterflies and birds, and not butterflies and dragonflies.
I gotcha.
Okay. It's actually pertinent to a scene in the Biala series where they have the birds and the butterflies, the big streams of them like that. So I'll
Well,
write in.
birds are very, very
Yeah.
symbolic.
Yeah, actually, for that scene, because it's a very magical scene that they're witnessing, and it's a long story. But I'm gonna write in dragonflies as well. Yep.
Alrighty.
Bye bye, Donna. Bye bye. Bye bye. Just love
Bye.
it. It gives me such joy to interact with you and your sharings. I can't tell you how much joy they give me. So please, Donna, they are magically powerful and important. Magically powerful. You just always leverage me to a different plane. Just amazing. Just amazing. All right, sleep profoundly, Donna. Please sleep profoundly.
You too.
Yeah. Good night, Donna. Good night.
Night.
Bye. And we just